So this video has been a long time coming. It's the 17th of December 2018. I have been back in the UK for 5 months. 5 months exactly, actually. It was the 17th of July that I came back. So you've probably already figured out I'm no longer travelling in the motorhome. I've actually sold it now. And the reasons, I don't need to go over them all again. If you watch the video that I did 5 months ago about when I'd been in France for 3 months, I explained all the various problems that I was having. I was still having trouble with work. I didn't like the bathroom situation. It was very crowded. I was always living in close quarters. There's a million things. And then when I came back, also, I got another problem, another leak, a really bad one. And it cost me, again, just a ton of money. And it just seemed like this massive money sink. If you've ever watched that film, The Money Pit with Tom Hanks, it just felt like that, but in a vehicle. And when I came back, I went and stayed with my brother for a couple of days, and he's built his own house. It's a really nice house. I mean, his bathroom is bigger than my entire motorhome and a lot more plush as well. And honestly, after a couple of days back in the UK, living in a house, I just knew I couldn't go back to the motorhome. I couldn't live like that anymore. I wanted to travel. I still want to travel, but I just cannot live full time in a vehicle. So if you're one of the people that subscribed to my channel because I was living in a vehicle, then you might as well just unsubscribe, because there's going to be nothing of value to you going forwards, because I'm not doing it anymore, and I know that I'm never going to do it again. So I had a heck of an adventure in the motorhome. I don't regret doing it, though I do regret all the money that I spent on it. You know, when I sold it, I didn't get back anywhere near what I spent, because of course a lot of what I spent was on repairs. So that was a bit of a nightmare, but you know, it is what it is. So it's hard to know where to start with this. So what happened was, I've come back to the UK, spent some time with family first and foremost, and then I thought, what do I do now? I kind of knew I knew I wasn't going back to the motorhomes. I had to figure out somewhere else to live, but I'd already got rid of my house, and I just didn't want to go back into rented accommodation. You know, that whole experience, it changed me. I have become a lot less materialistic. It's like I still haven't replaced things like clothes. I've hardly got any clothes, and I'm just not interested in having some big expensive house, paying hundreds and hundreds of pounds in rent and council tax and all that crap. I thought, I can't go back to that either. So what do I do? And I found, I think I realized it when I was still in France, actually, but I found that you can buy a static caravan, and that is what I did. And so I bought that in August. It was just 2 weeks after I came back. And would you believe, I got a complete 2-bedroomed house for just a little bit more than I paid for the motorhome. So it's got 2 bedrooms, it's got a proper bathroom with a flushing toilet, with a real shower. You know, I've got a kitchen and a dining room and a big lounge, and I have a bed that I can sit up in, a massive bed that I can sit up in. And you know, things don't move around. I can open a cupboard and don't have a million things falling out of it and stuff like that. It's a real home. And so I just fell in love with the caravan, and I couldn't wait to sell the motorhome. It actually took me ages to sell because I couldn't get the price I wanted, and it's only just gone this week. I've had it up for sale for 4 months, longer than I was traveling in it, and it has been so stressful. And I didn't want to shoot this video until it was gone, even though I've known what my plans were going to be for quite a long time. So I've been living in this caravan, but it's not a permanent residence. It is a holiday home. It's not one of those residential caravans. And so the rules of the park is that you can stay on it throughout the holiday season, but come winter time, the park closes and off you go. You can't stay in the caravan anymore. Now that suited me, because I've said all along, for the winter, I do not want to be in the UK for the winter. We're middle of December and I am still here. The reason for that, though, is family. I was intending to go travelling again this month, but my mum has been ill. She's She's very old, she's very poorly, she's very frail, and she really had her heart set on me being here for Christmas. So I decided to stay in England for Christmas. So I've been staying with her for a few weeks. And so what my plans are next is that I am going to Tenerife for 2 months right after Christmas, just before New Year. I'm flying out. I'll be staying there for 2 months. Now, of course, I'm not going in the motorhome, so I'm doing something a bit more traditional. I am renting a cabin. It's not an apartment, it's a cabin. It's a complete self-enclosed cabin. It looks absolutely lovely, and it has an office. And that was what really sold it for me. You know, I went on and on and on for all those months about how I was struggling to work. You know, I either had problems with electricity, the solar, the Wi-Fi, or being distracted by people's feet and kids and all that stuff. There's so many things that made it difficult to work when I was traveling in the motorhome. And, you know, I need to work. I need to work full time. But I want to travel as well, and so I can do that. You know, luckily the work I do, I can do anywhere as long as I do have electricity and a good internet signal and somewhere I can concentrate. You know, this was something I struggled with in the motorhome. As long as I've got some peace and quiet and I can concentrate, I can work. And when I travel, I don't like to pack everything in. Like when I'm going hiking, I don't want to go hiking every day, especially if I'm doing, you know, like when I was in the Pyrenees and doing the strenuous hikes. After I did one of those, you know, I would need to rest a few days. So that's when I wanted to work. And so by staying out there for 2 months and having like a proper little home to live in, then I have the best of both worlds, because I can still work full time. And the kind of work I do, I've actually changed the work I do now. I'm no longer running the same business that I was, and I've started something new, which is very different. And this work is early mornings, evenings, weekends. I can do, funny enough, I could work pretty much 24/7, this stuff to do all the time. But it suits me to kind of work early in the morning and then to go exploring in the afternoon, and to work in the evenings and the weekends. And so I think I'll be able to do everything that I want to do and still work full time and more. Because as I said in that previous video, you know, I'm not really interested in doing touristy things. All I want to do is get some sunshine, get some nature, get a break from the UK, and just have a bit of an adventure. And, you know, I know what I want now. And like I said before, I'm not doing any planning. In actual fact, I'm leaving in 9 days. And I haven't planned a damn thing. I mean, I did actually get around to booking the flight recently, and I've got the apartment and the flight, but that is it. I haven't done anything else. I haven't learned any Spanish. You know, I haven't even got the address of where I'm going yet. So I really haven't planned. I'm really winging it. But I know what I want. I know that there's a website that has like 700 different hikes for Tenerife listed, and you know, the main part of the island is a big volcano which has been sort of built, you know, around it is this big national park. There's a ton of hiking trails, and it's going to be a very different landscape to anything that I've done before. It's this volcanic, you know, kind of desert style landscape, which is so different from like the UK or France. And so it's going to be really interesting doing that kind of thing. But again, I'm not going to be going out there hiking, exploring every day. I'm not going to be going to the tourist towns. You know, I'm not going to be going around the coast, going to all the places where the tourist spots are. I mean, I've been to Tenerife before, and I went to Costa Adeje in the south, and that was just a standard tourist holiday, 1 week, all inclusive at the hotel. And you know, that just does not interest me anymore. You know, that is not what I like. That is not what I want to do. So this time, I'm just basically living somewhere else for 2 months. And that's pretty much it. My life won't be hugely different. I'll still be working a lot, but when I take time off, I'll be doing it in a different country. I'll have different things to explore. And that is basically what I want to do now. I just want to live in different places for a few months at a time, still carry on working, but just enjoy exploring somewhere new when I do it. And one of the reasons why I chose Tenerife is obviously it's going to be lovely and warm. The temperature there is fairly even. It should be around 15 degrees throughout the winter. So I think it's going to be a little bit like our springtime in the UK, but throughout the winter. So it'll be a lot warmer. Oh, I think my computer's going to go to sleep. Oh yeah, the reason for the headset, by the way, is usually I record on my phone, but I don't have my holder thing with me to hold the phone, and I did try sort of like holding it, and I couldn't get a decent picture, so I'm having to record in a different way using this headset. So apologies for that. What was I talking about? Completely lost my train of thought. Yeah, I really have. So I don't know what I was going to say there, but yeah, basically, so I've sold the motorhome, no longer living in a vehicle. I'm still going to be travelling. I'm going to be going for 2 months to Tenerife. When I come back to the UK, I'm probably going to be planning my next trip within 1 or 2 months. You know, I can no longer stay in one place indefinitely. I can't do it anymore. I get itchy feet. I get bored. I get bored really quickly with life, and I just need to move on and do something else. And having this caravan in the UK is really useful because it means that I can just go back whenever I want, and I've got a home to go to. And because it's on a park, you know, it's all secure, it's all gated, they've got like barriers to get in, they've got staff that are working around the clock that deal with any kind of maintenance, any security. If anything was to happen to it, you know, they sort it all out while I'm there. It's perfectly fine to just come and go as you please. That's what they're designed for. And then I can just go off somewhere else. As long as I've got the money to just go and rent something, I can travel as much as I like, you know, as long as I've got money. And now with this new work that I'm doing, I've actually got some money coming in, so I can afford to travel. So I'm really looking forward to the next year. I'm especially looking forward to Tenerife. Oh yeah, I was talking about the weather, wasn't I? Yeah, so it should be kind of t-shirt weather throughout Tenerife. And yeah, I was talking about the reasons why I was staying there. Yes, because I'm not restricted by where I can drive in the motorhome, I can fly. And Tenerife is a very small island. From one particular place, I can explore the entire island. You can literally drive from one end to the other side of the island in about 2 hours. And so, yeah, I can explore anything I want to do from that one place that I'm renting. So I don't need that mode of travel. You know, in France is a big country, and to explore everything you need to move around from place to place to place to place, and that's why the motorhome was suitable for that. But you could do that in a different way anyway. You could do that with an apartment, but it'd be a lot of moving around with suitcases and things. But anyway, yes, I'm flying out there, which is going to be a lot more convenient than trying to drive. And yeah, I can't wait. I'm really looking forward to it. But my vehicle dwelling days are over. So thank you to all of those of you who subscribed. It's been quite weird over the past few months seeing new people just pop up, keep subscribing to the channel. And I kind of feel a bit guilty because now, you know, I'm not doing the vehicle thing anymore. So I know I'm expecting my subscribers to drop back down to like my original 7, my 7 friends that were subscribed at the beginning. So yeah, if you are interested in knowing about my future travels, then you can stay subscribed. But I'll be just showing where I'm going, what I'm doing, my hikes, what I'm exploring. But obviously there's going to be nothing about living in a vehicle. Okay, that is it for this one. I will probably do the next one when I'm out there, or probably on the day I'm going out. And just, yeah, getting ready for the next adventure. Okay, and happy Christmas to everyone.